How's it going, YouTube? Right, we're back on the camper again today. I've just been tidying up all the workshop. Let's have a look where we left off and where we are now and what we've got to do next. Right, if we go over to the back of the van now, we'll see this rubber floor here. This is like one of those button rubber floors. I've not fixed this down or anything yet. I've just laid it out and I've kind of cut it to shape. It was cut really well in, but then I took it out and I put it back in again and it kind of overlaps on the edge. So the first job we've got to do today is we've got to get this stuck down so we can do some more things in the front. Let's have a look. Right, that sliding door is now finished. I've finished trimming that off. I've done it exactly the same as this one, where it's got the blue behind and the little gap. Obviously, this one's not got a light in it because it's on the sliding door. But as you can see there, we've got the blue behind and I've got the little gap there. Right down in the bottom, down there, I fitted a little bit of carpet look, just so if you're looking in that gap, it looks a bit tidier. As you can see there, I've done the door in two pieces. Just so if there's any problems with the mechanism or anything like that, I only have to take off this bottom piece here, rather than the whole thing. This top one should never have to come off. But as you can see down at the handle, I think I fitted it in quite nicely, so it's scribed around everything and fits really well around the door. There's a little tiny gap at the back, but you're not going to see this, because the splashback for the kitchen is going to overlap slightly anyway, so you'll not even see that. Right, so what are we doing next? What we need to do next is we need to fit the floors and get that done, mainly so we can get the shower wall in, we get the bulkhead wall in, and then once they're in, I can start fitting the ceiling. Where's my finger? There it is. I can start fitting the ceiling. What we're going for is these slatted ceiling panels. These ones here, the ones that have got like the little felt back and the slats on. It's more expensive obviously than making it yourself, but to be honest I can't be bothered to make them myself. So I've got a little bit of a plan to do with that, but I need this wall in first. I know roughly whereabouts these are going to go. When we get to the point, what I'll do is I'll put some woods down where these top cupboards are going, because obviously the slatted ceiling only has to go in the actual roof bit. I just need all the stuff going up to the roof so I can cut it in and get it all fitted. It's pointless covering the whole lot. Right, so if we look down at the floor, I'm not sure if you can see the pencil marks. You can see there where I've filled it, so any screws or anything like that, that's all filled and that's ready for the lino stuff that I've got to fit. So we're going to do that in a minute. We're going to get that rubber one fitted over there first, then we're going to fit this one, and then the next thing after that, we've got to get a bulkhead across the back. We've got to make that. Then we've got to build these shower walls here. I don't know if you can see my pencil marks. There's the pencil marks there of where the shower wall's going. At the front here, assuming you can see these pencil marks as well, I've marked in a little bit of a corner seat that goes around there like that. So I'm going to have cushions going in a corner. Rather than just a boring bench seat, I want it to kind of go round a little bit, just to make it a bit comfier. I've decided I didn't want the double seat against this back wall, because then that's just, to be honest, like sitting in these type of seats here, which is not what I want. What I want there is the bench seat, but coming around the corner a little bit, just to make it a little bit posher, and then I've got somewhere to spread my feet out and relax. The table that we're going to have there is one of those, is it a Ligun style leg with so you can move the table around wherever you want. We're going to have one of those. I've got the pencil marks down here as well for the kitchen. That's going to go 1.5 meters out from the bulkhead over there, which will probably take it roughly about halfway across this door here. And the top cupboards, I'm going to follow those across as well so they're overhanging. It's pointless wasting all this space up here. I might as well fill them with some cupboards. I'm not sure how far we're going to get in this video particular. We'll find out by the time I've done it, and it'll probably be in the thumbnail and the title. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through those jobs one at a time now. So we've got the floor to do, we've got the walls to put up for the shower and the bulkhead, and then the ceiling. So I don't know how far we're going to get through that in this video, but let's crack on. First thing I'm going to do now is get some contact adhesive and get this rubber floor down, and then same again, contact adhesive and get the front lino down. So let's do that. Now, I'm not sure why I ever thought this little contact adhesive was going to be enough, so I'll end up having to go out and buy some more in a minute, but let's get this started. Right, there's a rubber down. What I've done is I've put some plywood on it and weighed it down a little bit, just to hold it flat for now because it had all the creases in the rubber. So I'll leave that for a bit to go off. What I need to do is get this front vinyl in now. Right, what I've got is some of this dark wood effect stuff. What I've done now is I've just laid it out. I've already cut it out the other day and then rolled it back up and got it out of the way. But what I've done is I've just rolled it out now and I've put some wood on it just to let it flatten a little bit just before I try sticking it. But that's what it's going to look like. So we'll get this stuck down in a second. Well, a second for you. Right, that's it, that's that floor done. I'm going to put some wood on it to protect it soon. What I've done is I've put one of these bed beams in because this one's going to stay in permanently now. These are the IKEA Scorva mid beams. This is what everybody's doing in the camper. I've got 3 of them. And then I've got the slats from IKEA as well to make the bed up. So it's just a basic bed. What I need to do now is this one's going to stay in here permanently. I need a little bit of 2x1 fastening to it just to fill this little gap here. And then where this gap is here, this is where the wall's going to be for this bulkhead across there. But what I've got to do is I'm going to make it a bit higher this side and a bit higher this side so it's above the worktop. The worktop's going to be about 900mm from the floor, so I'm going to bring it in and then I'm going to put a little dip in the middle and then back up again, so we've got a little dip in the middle to get into the bed. I'm going to measure it all up in a minute to get that in the exact right place, but I think the kitchen cupboards are going to be about 520 deep. The bathroom I think is 675 deep, and then that leaves a gap of 550 in the middle for our walkway, which should be plenty. What I'm also going to do is I need to cut a hole out at the bottom because I'm going to have one of those tambour doors to lift up and open so you've got access through to the garage. Because when we go camping, we're probably going to take the cats. So if we've got the little tambour door, we can leave that open and then I can put like a little bed for the cats and things in the garage. So that's what we're going to do. It's going to be a nice little through for the cats. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on the bench. I'm going to draw all this out. I'm going to mark it up, cut it out. We'll get it in. Some of it will be covered in this blue because that is going to be the colour of the units. Some of it won't be because it's behind units. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get it all done, get it in, and then we'll talk about what I've done and why I've done it like that. So I'll see you back in a second when this bulkhead's finished. Right, that bulkhead's in. Let's go and have a look, see what I've done. Right, there it is in. I've set up the bed. I'm going to be taking this down a bit later. This, if anybody's interested, this is the usual IKEA Scorva mid-beams. And these slats that everybody seems to use, I'm not going to do a full video on the bed because everybody uses these IKEA beams and these slats, so I'm not going to talk about it anymore. But I've put them in for now. I'm going to take them out again later. But as you can see, this bulkhead's in there. Down below, I've been covering it with the blue wrap in anywhere that I'll be able to see once it's done. This side's going to be boxed in a little bit because I'm going to have the water pump and other things over there. And we'll talk about all the water and the electric install later, because obviously this is going to be all boxed out for all the electrics down this side. I'm going to have probably the batteries up this side, up there, and then at the back that's going to be water pump and things like that. So let's have a look inside. So inside, what I've done is I've brought the fridge in just to see how it all measures up. Because what I did is I measured out from here for where the kitchen unit will be. I've measured out to here where the shower wall's going to be. And I've covered everywhere blue where you'll be able to actually see. This worktop is going to be at 900mm there. So this is literally going to be the worktop right across here. So that bit there you'll not see it. The fridge is going to be lifted up because I'm going to have a kick plate underneath with LED lights all down here. And as you can see, what I've done here is this is at 1 metre high. So I've done a little cutout there that I'm going to be able to get in. And what I'll do is I'm going to fit a couple of little steps, little corner steps just up here, so you can take your weight and stand on them to get in the bed. Also, you've noticed I've cut out a hole there. This is going to be one of those tambour doors to lift up. This is going to be the way in to get to the back. That's on order. That actually might be here soon, so I'm probably be fitting that in this video. And what I've done here is I've put this bit of 2x1 here just to mark out where the end of the shower is going to be. So what I need to do now is I need to build this wall out properly out of 2x1. The reason I've done it out of 2x1 is probably because the shower is going to be about here. Because what I want to do is I want to get to the plumbing from behind, and then the pipes and everything are going to run down the back of there. And also I'm going to have some switches and things on this wall here. So what I'll do is I'll separate this up. So we've got like switches in one area, the plumbing in the other area. But it's all going to be in this 2x1 wall here. So I've got a bit of area to put some stuff. And then later on, if I'm wanting to run any more wires from the battery up to the top and out to the front or out to the rear, I can do it because it can all go inside this wall here. This side's going to be something slightly different, but it's still going to give me a way of getting up the top with the wiring. We'll have a look at that when we do the kitchen. So what I need to do now is I need to get some more 2x1. I need to square up this wall, batten it in ready, and then I need to build this front wall and this side wall for the shower there. This front wall here, this one's going to have a door cut out in it. This side one here, this is just going to be a plain wall up. I'm going to cover it in blue on the bits you'll see. The bits you don't see, I'm not going to cover it. But I'm going to make these two walls here out of 12mm ply. And when I do the shower lining inside, that's going to add another 5mm or so, depending on what I use. So 12mm ply is plenty for this. I mean, this is also 12mm ply, and this is absolutely solid. As you can see there, I've put this stick-on edging on it as well, just to tidy it up. I did buy some knock-on edging, but this is quite nice actually, and I wanted it to be really flat on this one because this is going to have another board butting up to it on the other side of this wall that's going to be able to screw on and off if I need to get behind it. So I think for now, what we'll do is I need to build this wall, and I need to build these two walls here and get the shower in. So let's crack on with that. Right, that's the first wall in. This bit's just temporary, just so I could square off this wall while I was screwing it back. As you can see, what I've done is I've covered it in this blue wrap. I've not done these edges yet, mainly because once I line it on the inside, I won't know how thick this is until I've done it, and then I'll get some capping to cover that once I know how thick it all is. But what I did is round the back, what you can see is I've pocket screwed it all the way around top and bottom. I did start to pocket screw it here on the sides, but the screws are kind of coming through at the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a bit of 1x1 box or something like this so I can screw it straight through. Just the same as I did over this other side here. I screwed that straight through there into this, and it's holding it steady. So if I get some little square to put in that corner, and then I can cap it off later. But as you can see, that's the first wall all done. What I've got to do now is I've got to do this wall, so it makes it a bit of a pain because I've got to scribe the sides in and the top all at the same time. I might do it in cardboard first, to be honest, before I'm cutting any wood and scribing it in. So let's get this end piece on here. This will be a little bit different. This blue, I'm literally just putting a strip across the top, and the bottom half I'm not covering, and we'll see why a little bit later. Right, there we are, that's that second wall in now. As you've noticed, I've only done the top bit blue. This bottom bit here is just left as wood. There's a reason for that, we'll see that later. I've got a little idea in my head. Whether it looks good or not, I don't know, we'll find out later. But what you can see here is I've put this little plastic trim over this corner. I've fitted the little bits on this bit because on the inside it's going to be the shower panels. I think they're 10mm thick, and they've also got a little cap in anyway, so I'll be able to finish that off nicely inside. In the shower itself, I've got a little bit of square that I've used to bolt it all together, and I've pocket screwed it to the roof and all round the sides and down to the bottom. And to be honest, stepping inside it, that's a pretty decent sized shower, so that's worked out quite well. I need to cover this on the inside as well, and then I can start doing all that later. That's going to be a shower video completely separate because we've got to waterproof all the inside of there and turn it into a shower. I've got some ideas what to do with how to angle it, lighting and all that sort of stuff, so we'll look at that later. Now this is in, now I can see the profile of the ceiling. What I need to do is just put some battens up where these cupboards are going to be, up there, over this side where the kitchen cupboard's going to, and then there's going to be a bit of trim here that's got some control panels and stuff on. I'll put a bit of batten up there, and I need to mark all this out. So now what I can start to do is I can start to do the ceiling, but I'm going to do that in the next video. In this video, I'm going to fit this tambour door here because it's just been delivered today, so we might as well get that on while it's here, haven't we? So let's get this tambour door on. Let's have a look at it. And before I do that, I need to have a really good tidy up in here. Look at the state of it. So I'm going to clear all this up and have a hoover up and get rid of all this crap and get the tambour door out on this bench, and let's have a look what we get and how to fit it. Right, here we are. Here's the tambour door. I've got like a matte black one there, look, so that blends in with the rest of the design that's going on. But for anybody that's not seen these before, these are literally just a door that rolls up and it rolls into this little coil here. So what it'll do is when you push it up, it literally rolls up, look, and it wraps it all up inside there. So what you need to do is we need to make a little bit there to mount these side bits on, because what you've got is obviously you've got this coil that we've just seen, that one's mounting near the top, and then you've got these rails that want mounting down the sides, and that needs to hold it all together. Right, so what I've done is I've got one here I made earlier, is I've just got a bit of wood, a bit of this stuff, and I've screwed this rail to the side of it, and then I've screwed this onto it as well. So if we have a look from this side, what it'll do is that'll sit in the back, just like that. And then what I can do is this bit here, I can screw it straight through there, straight onto that back bit over there. So if I screw one of those there, screw one the other side with the door in, and then it'll go up and it'll roll up underneath, just under the bed there. So what I'll do is I'll get this bit of wood I've already covered and got ready, and I'll screw these side bits onto it, and then what we'll do is we'll get these and we'll screw it up onto the back of that hole there. And then what I'll do is, not this one because it's not long enough, is we'll get another one and I'll cover that and I'll screw it across the bottom so it doesn't go down too far, and I'll put that just below the bottom of the hole. So I'm going to get that screwed on, and then we'll have a look at it all up on and finished. Right, that's in. Let's go and have a look, shall we? Right, there it is. That's all in. As you can see there across the top, I had to put a bit of a brace just to hold that coil together because it kept spreading out and the door came off. But that's how it looks. What I'll do is, if I need to later, I'll box around there when I put these side cupboards in for everything else that's going in. We'll worry about that later. Let's have a look on the inside. Right, so looking on the inside, there's the door all in. If I grab that, we can just literally just open it up like that, and then that'll take us through into the garage. And I think that looks kind of tidy, actually. That looks nice. You've not got a door opening up into the side. And also it'll match the bathroom door that's going in here, because the bathroom door is going to be exactly the same as this, but on its side, and it's going to be the full height of this, and then it'll pull out that way and go round the corner into the shower, but we'll worry about that when we do the shower. So that's another job done down there. I think that looks quite good. Right, so what I'm going to do now off camera is this inside of this board here, I'm going to just fit that over there just to blank that off from the inside with some 5mm ply. What I'll do is around this point here, I'm going to double thickness it because this is going to have the shower mounted to it, the shower taps. So I'm going to do that off camera now. If I put this bit of plywood down again, just to stop this floor getting scratched there, because this is the bit that's going to still show more than anything once all the kitchen and everything's in, so I don't want to ruin that. But that's how it's kind of looking for now. Next job is the ceiling. A little sneak peek. There's one of the panels for the ceiling. So that is literally the next job for me. I'm going to use these type of panels, but I've got a bit of an idea how to make it a little bit different to how everybody else has been doing it. So I don't know if that's going to be the next video, but it's definitely the next job for me. So at some point soon it's going to come up. So that's it for today. So like the video if you liked it. Comment below anything you want to say, because I do like reading all your comments. If you want to see some more of this build, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch you again in another video. Cheers!